Okay, so I wanted to make another video about bringing your community together. Now, again, as I state, and I'll state again and again, not any one of these things is going to help you. Overall, they will. One of the problems we have nowadays is nobody really knows their neighbors. So, in an Shtf, you're surrounded by strangers. Back in the day, well, neighbors pulled together, right? Like during the Depression, people were losing their homes, and the neighbors would band together and bid low so that they could, their neighbors could buy their homes back. They would share what little bit they had. You know, in poorer countries, I mean, you can go to your neighbor and ask them for a little bit of food, you know, something simple, and they'll take care of you. They don't have much, but they'll share. Here, So, like I recommended, you know, trying to get to know people around you, building a sense of community. I recommend that you try to start a community garden. That'd be one thing to do, using old waste and all, you know, just stuff that go to a landfill and stuff you have laying around in your yard, probably, or in your closet, old gardening equipment, you know. That would help feed people, which will keep them from going, you know, crazy later. But other ways, I mean, you know, food draws people together. So, assuming you are successful in that community garden, you could always use some of those vegetables that you grow, and you know, just grill out together, man. Throw a big old barbecue, you and some of the neighbors around you, right? Say you're growing some veggies and stuff. Well, make some kebabs, grill that up. If you're a hunter, you know, hey man, you hunt wild boar, you hunt venison. You know, that'd be something to get people kind of used to eating. You never know. I don't think that you're going to be able to hunt all kinds of game. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I know there was one idiot that was telling me that, you know, there was no problem in the 1920s with a deer population, even though there was a depression. But the problem is, well, you know, the depression started, in the 1920s, the last 3 months of the 1920s, right? 1929 is when everything fell in October, so, you know, 3 months worth of the entire decade doesn't really qualify. But if you look at things now, you've got more people and less wooded area, less deer. Well, guess what's going to happen to that population of game out there really quickly? And people are going to hunt them whether they know how to process them or not, man. Whether they know how to, you know, keep the meat from spoiling, preserve it, whether they know, you know, not puncture the bladder and contaminate them. I mean, they're just going to go and shoot the things, right? But anyway, that'd be one way to kind of get them used to it. That'd be similar to what you'd probably be doing. You know, be pretty interesting. You know, you got stuff in the freezer that you got to get rid of. You know, rotate things out or something. Well, there you go. Some veggies and some stuff from the freezer, or you know, if you're a hunter, you know, you want to do something different. You know, some boar, some wild boar kebabs, some venison kebabs or something. I don't know. But getting to know people like that, that's always a fun way to go about it. Sharing a brewski with the neighbors, you know, chit-chatting a little bit. And, you know, even if you're not successful in that community garden, well, that's fine. You can try to do this anyway. Grilling out, drinking beer, that's always a good way to get to know people, man. And if you are successful in those two, well, then you're that much more ahead. But like I said, every little bit, man. You know, don't tell them what you do. Only 1 or 2% of the population are preppers out there. So, you know, loose lips sink ships. But getting to know people will be a very good thing to do ahead of time, right? If there's some shit at the fan scenario, you've got looters or something like that. You look at some of these countries, you know, Middle Eastern countries or like South American countries where there's like neighborhood watches or something like that. They'll block off the neighborhood, have checkpoints or something. You know, you drive up, they look inside, and they recognize you, they let you go through. I mean, things get pretty bad sometimes. It'd be nice to know your neighbors ahead of time. If things got that bad, you could set something up like that. And again, I mean, if you guys are hunters, man, and that's pretty cool. You go out there and get people to try new meats. If they're interested in guns, you know, you can teach them to take them to the range, teach them to shoot and respect the firearm, get them to respect their gun rights and know their rights. You know, hell, maybe they may get on board and buy firearms themselves, right? And become hunters themselves. You never know. But anyway, just certain things you can do. Step by step, man. You know, that's how you go up a flight of stairs, man. One step at a time. You get all the way to the top.